and welcome back to another mukbang with Im and Lee. We are the Munch Bunch UK. Lee, tell them what we have on the menu.
Well, it's a different setup altogether, guys, because we've done a roast beef dinner and we've done these in the past and you can't all see what we've got. So I figured if we do it from a higher view, we'll probably won't ever do this view again because it's like we're looking up at the bloody ceiling.
No, we're all right though. It's quite nice. We've got a big roast beef dinner today. Look at that. Horseradish.
We do indeed, guys, we have. So what's I'm sorting out, we've got cauliflower, we have cabbage, there's some green beans on here, there's swede, there's Brussels sprouts, there's roast potato, I did cauliflower, boiled potatoes, roast beef, hence the roast beef dinner part, and Yorkshire puddings. We also have cushions in the background, which we didn't want to
that's all right. Everybody's got a cushion. And sprouts as well.
I said that as well,
We didn't do carrots today.
No, there's no, I didn't even know if we had any carrots.
Yeah, we do.
Well, I couldn't fit carrots on here as well as everything else, but they are homemade Yorkshire puddings. I made these, guys, so I think they come out quite well. Not as big as I sometimes do, but still quite well enough.
You do make nice Yorkshire puddings, I must say. So how are we all on this delightful Sunday? The weather here in Wolverhampton yesterday was horrific. Today it is hot outside. It is unbelievable.
That's climate change for you, I'm.
Do you know, there was a serious conversation about that the other day. I don't know if you guys across the way know it, but the Sawala family, like Nadia Sawala, across the pond. You might not know who that is, but anyway, she was talking about the importance of telling children about the climate change because it is dramatically changing, isn't it?
Oh yeah, eventually there'll be no like penguins or London buses around anymore. Everything's going to change.
But summer, any of you guys who were born in the 80s, summer for us when we was growing up used to be brilliant. Like, you could guarantee, you've said this before, in a 6 weeks holiday you could guarantee having some sunshine.
Well, pretty much the whole of the holidays. I don't remember when I was a kid during the 6 week holidays. I don't remember ever being rained off. Might have had to stay in because it was raining. I really don't remember it happening too often. You could guarantee the whole 6 weeks out with your mates, doing whatever you want to, playing football on your bikes and stuff with your lads. And my mum anyway, because we had worked all the time during the day, she could plan days. Actually, in 2 weeks' time, on the Thursday we're going to Blackpool. Okay, Mum. What if it rains? I never had to say it because it always was good weather, and you could guarantee when you're on that Thursday, weather will be beautiful. A day in Blackpool.
However, we've been, and we've said it for quite a long time now, the best weather we've had in the last few years has been in April.
Do you, or have you ever had a famous weatherman or a favourite one? And I only asked that because when I was a kid, there was a weatherman called Fred. I think he's called Fred.
I thought it was John Fish.
No, there was a bloke, and if you're from the north...
Oh, yeah, he stood on the map.
Yeah, if you're from the north, I think he used to do it up... He's based in Liverpool, basically, and he was like this... for God's... I'm having a nightmare here, guys. There was a map, anyway, it was on, like...
the river.
A river... No, it wasn't a river, it's like a little canal or something, or a lake or something or other. And he'd jump from bit to bit, like, over here in Liverpool, and he'd jump to Liverpool. And then be like, up to Newcastle. He'd get there quicker than the bus could. He'd just jump around, and be like, now it's going to be crap in Plymouth, and he'd jump down to Plymouth.
I remember that.
Yeah, I went there one time, and you're allowed to sort of walk...
Wasn't it Granada Studios or something like that?
And for some reason I thought it was in Liverpool. It's not. I think it's in Manchester or somewhere.
I don't know. I had a feeling it was Liverpool. But yeah, we did. And there was, not so long ago, that map reappeared on his show call this morning. And one of the presenters called Alison Hammond fell into the...
She fell in there?
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. But yeah, it was really good. But then we got a shock of another weather bloke from round here, from the Midlands, who does the weather in the Midlands.
Oh, Des.
Called Des. And one Des was... They told us his age. Like that, he must be lying to us. He looks like he's in his 20s. Maybe for early 30s. 50 odd.
Couldn't believe it. He's really, really older than what you'd think. Some people just age perfectly. Could be done to another point about age. So there was a discussion that I saw on Facebook the other day. Would you ever... So, like, you know, as you get older, like, lines appear. I'm not talking drastic surgery, but how do you feel about just a few, like, touch-ups here and there? Like, would you... Like, you know how Gordon Ramsay had the fillers in his face? Do you feel like getting older gracefully is what it is, or would you get it just truthfully?
Yeah, well, in all honesty, as much as I'll do kind of like sometimes Gordon Ramsay, he did have creases in his forehead like the size of the equator. They were massive. I can't argue about that, can we?
No, he agreed.
So I mean, obviously, if you've got the money to do it, I don't blame him getting it done. Me, when I was young, I was like, what the hell are people paying that crap for to get something done to their face? What's the point? Then I had, like, I guess my eye surgery was like a cosmetic surgery, which is what they call it.
It's cosmetic, but it was necessary, wasn't it?
It was necessary, yeah.
That was it. I didn't get my word out.
But in terms of, yes, I would, because I have, like, one eye is always more open than the other eye, because Aim said to me ages ago, if you get fat, Lee, some people put on fat in different places. So my feet are fine, they don't look fat, but my eyelids, or above them, get really chunky. And it makes one of my eyes, sort of, my eyelids anyway, droop down a bit more than the other one. So I would get that sorted out.
You'd have, like, your eyelids taken up.
I guess so, if that's what you wanted to call it.
I think
That's about it.
They do it from there, and then they sort of...
Pull it up.
Yeah. Facelift, like.
Yeah. What is your favourite part of a roast dinner, guys? And also, like I just said, would you ever get any work done on yourself? Have you had work done? Has it gone wrong? They're the stories. I don't want to hear about surgery that went well. I want to hear the ones that went really wrong.
Oh, I hope it hasn't gone really wrong for people.
Yeah, what's it like Justin Bieber, and instead a little more like Carol Smiley. Yeah, them ones. I want to hear about that.
What is your favourite meat as well for dinner?
Yeah, so today.
Ooh, we nearly lost a potato then, guys. This is the only problem with having it on this board thing.
It's going alright. It's worked out well today, guys. So usually Aim will have a bit of a complaint. If I say, it's Sunday, I'm watching the football, she'll say, Lee, I want to spend some time yesterday. But it's Sunday, it's football. Today worked out well because Claire popped round, our mate, and her fellow was at the football. So she come round here, and I was able to see her and chat away for hours on end. And I was able to get some nice peace and quiet and watch the football. I love that idea. Claire, you're welcome around every week.
What's your favourite meat on the dinner?
Chicken.
A lot of people say that.
That's probably because it's their favourite meat on their dinner, right?
No, but it's like one of the things that people choose more than the others. I watched that on a cooking show. People will often say chicken is their favourite.
I think it's probably because more people have chicken. Because
it's the cheaper one as well.
It's the cheapest option. You can literally go out, find a chicken in the field, and just take it home. You can't go out and find a cow. Well, you can do, but you can't get a cow down your trousers. You can stick a chicken down your trousers. So if ever you got like on the rob, if I don't go on the rob, but anyone who is, and they've got no money, but they want a roast dinner, couple of potatoes, stick them in your back pocket, chicken underneath your coat or whatever, bag of frozen veg, wherever you want to put that, in your socks or something, bish bash bosh, go and make a roast dinner in the park. You can't make a beef dinner there, because this takes a lot longer to cook.
It depends on the size of the oven.
What? No, plus you need to find yourself a cow.
You found one?
Yeah, I did find a cow one time.
Thinking about it, just hypothetically, they are easy to go and get one if you wanted one, if you had like a cow mover.
A cow mover? You mean like a cow...
Cow crane.
A cow crane? What the hell's a cow crane?
Cow crane.
Crane! Oh, yeah, but kind of like, you can't really subtly drive a cow crane around the streets of the West Midlands without being seen. And people suddenly pulling up like the coppers saying, mate, what are you doing at 3 in the morning with a cow crane?
How are you going to get away with putting a chicken down your trousers?
I think it'd be a lot easier. You could just say, look, I've got a really bad hernia or something like that. I've slipped a disc.
People do steal animals at our farms, you know.
Mm-hmm. Of course they do.
That is a really scary concept though, isn't it? If you've got like a farm and you've got animals on it, people think, oh God, it's like the foxes and things. But people, you could easily go along and try and steal something. If you've got a big enough vehicle.
Yeah. I do worry about that. Like, I go past this field where I walk the dog. Some of you have seen it on one of my other videos. Where there was sheep. No, there was what the hell was in there? Cows. In one field. And across the road, there's cows in the other field. And I thought to myself, who's there to watch the cows over the road? Because there's no building on there. There's no security. There's no security guard watching cows like cow number 1, number 2, number 3. around this field, and anyone could just pull up, stick them on the back of a Mini or what, a little Mini Cooper in the boot, and you're off. You got yourself 3 cows.
You definitely could with a sheep. You could definitely get a sheep.
A sheep are a pain in the arse, and they're not very coordinated. They don't listen to you when you say you need a border collie with you to help you.
Yeah.
A sheep herder.
Worry if you was another farmer and you ran out of animals, you had a sheepdog. You could take your sheepdog, herd someone else's cows and take them.
Well, herd someone else's sheep.
Yeah, sheep.
I reckon sheep wars go on in the countryside between
Rival
farmers.
I know for a fact farmers pretend to be friends, but they are arsey with each other.
Yeah, if you have if you are a farmer or you have a farmer in your family, let us know. Is there like a farmer mafia out there? Like, has anyone ever woken up with a cow's head on the bed, like in The Godfather? I reckon that's happened.
His head in that.
Yeah, no, but the alternative would be a cow's head.
And like tractor markings on your front grass.
Yeah. Swimming with the fish now. What would you be swimming with? Swimming with the pigs.
Ducks.
Mm.
But that's not really on a farm, is it, ducks?
No, some people have ducks on a farm. What would you have if you had a farm?
Oh, you mean like what type?
What type of animals would you have?
Well, I'd have a dairy farm for a start off.
You wouldn't kill the cows?
I'd love the idea of like a farm shop, like selling jams and eggs and stuff, and making milk and making cheese and looking after the animals, giving them a really
Good home.
like an organic lifestyle, so where they live forever and comfortable. But obviously meat farming is a lot more profitable. But you can make big money on a farm, you really can, but obviously there's a lot of... Me and my mum was talking about it. Obviously if you've watched that Jeremy Clarkson thing on Amazon Prime, he runs his own farm now. The risks you actually take, you're relying on Mother Nature not to mess up your profits, aren't you?
That'd be the worst, I mean...
Just watching it all get drowned.
Like, they can't win. Sometimes they want the sun, and sometimes they want the rain.
It's like today and yesterday. Let's say you was a farmer. Now I watched this because the one that he worked with, this Caleb, yesterday was saying, oh, you know, the weather's this and that. Today it's hot, yesterday it was horrific. You couldn't make it up, could you?
No. And you can just watch your profits just wash away if it just like rains for like 2 months straight away, which it does in the UK sometimes.
Well, it was actually, for him, for Jeremy Clarkson, he lost £90,000 worth in profit just because of the weather.
He did lose a lot. But I would definitely have I'd have some cows.
Would you have a meat farm or a dairy farm?
I couldn't kill them. I'd have to get somebody else to come round.
Oh, they do anyway. They go to like the abattoir.
Yeah, but I could not send off Percy the cow and Nelly the elephant and say, look, you're off now to the abattoir. Try and make it sound like it's a 5-star holiday, and then knowing full well they're going to be killed. I couldn't do that.
You'd be better running a zoo then.
I'd love a zoo. I wouldn't love to run one though, because that's like hard work as well. I'd end up being like
You'd have a team of people running a zoo though, wouldn't you?
I'd end up being the Tiger King of the West Midlands, but obviously not killing my tigers. But I'd end up with a rivalry with a local zoo owner, knowing my body up, because they'd irritate me, and I'd have to put a hit out on them.
Well, we've got a zoo near us in Wolverhampton called Dudley Zoo. Probably some of you have been there. And then as well we have like a bigger thing called the West Midlands Safari Park, which is also really good. The zoo is good, but I think the Safari Park's better because obviously they've got more land to roam around on. I'm not sure I agree with zoos. Even though, the thing is, you say that, but where would they live in England if it wasn't in a zoo? You know, they couldn't just roam around, could they? All these animals. Makes me wonder though. Obviously a lot of them are born in captivity here. But all of them African ones would have to have been imported, wouldn't they? I mean, elephants didn't just roam around. Well, let's check her in.
Bloody hell. That was a mouthful of beef and half that.
Yeah, right. I nearly choked before on that. But it's all of them have been imported over.
Yeah, you're saying where would they live in England? They wouldn't live in England, man. They're not meant to. You know,
But I was saying I didn't agree with zoos, but
a giraffe shouldn't be in England unless it's in a zoo, and even then it shouldn't be in the bloody zoo realistically. But
so hang on now. If a giraffe is born in England in captivity, we now have an English giraffe.
there's a lot of English giraffes though.
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
What about it then?
They have to live in the zoo. Like, they are not... Their ancestors then, or their parents or whatever, perhaps come over from, like, Africa or wherever.
Yeah.
But they're supposed to be there, and yet they ended up in Dudley, of all
to be fair,
places. Dudley?
for a giraffe farm, you could potentially just... I mean, a giraffe won't hurt you. So I think... Like, they're always opening up these little parks for the kids these days, like, with playgrounds. Like, no, like in our local parks, they've started putting little gyms in there about 5 or 10 years ago. Like, crappy bikes that you can go on if you can't afford gym membership, which I've never used, but you do see people using, that's fair enough. Why couldn't they put a giraffe or two down there?
But you can just imagine David Attenborough, can't you? Like, it goes from here in the Serengeti, and now it's here in Dudley Zoo.
Yeah, but we could have it in like the local park. I really think that'd be good for the kids. Like, I know by walking through our parks and walking through the cemetery and stuff, it's great. I get dead excited when I see a squirrel. And if I ever see a fox, it's amazing. Like, a fox, way!
Yeah, that is no lie.
I love seeing foxes, but if I was up close, I'd probably get a bit scared.
We'll tell them about what we saw.
Yeah. But I honestly think if you used to walk through your local park and little Davy, your little son, is there like, Mum, what's that? And you look over and there's a sodding giraffe eating out the trees. Oh, that's Gordon the giraffe, little Davy. Let's go say hello. Then little Davy can walk on over, and then when he's big enough, he can climb the tree, jump on the giraffe's back, and have a little ride around. It could be good for the community. It'd be good for kids to respect wildlife more. An elephant or two, why not?
We saw this thing on TikTok the other day, and there was this couple who came home. They must have left like the window open, I don't know, but there was a giraffe in the bedroom.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
A fox.
Yeah, there's a giraffe in their bedroom.
A fox in their bedroom.
They lived in a block of flats with no other flats above them. They just lived on the ground floor, and all the other flats were knocked out, so the giraffe could stand up straight. Yeah, there was a fox there in this couple's bedroom. And the boss, I'll get it out, don't worry. I'd be like, hey, you get the bloody fox out, love. I'm off to have a sausage and roll sandwich.
That's the thing. Some of them can look really cute, but they're dangerous.
They are scared of people, though, a lot of the time. You get some foxes that settle. Like you see some clips and whatnot where they live with people. Yeah, where they live with dogs and cats. But I ain't tried to get one in our house a while back. It was out the front.
It was a baby one now.
Oh, that makes it better. Let's bring the baby fox into the house.
But you love them, so stop.
I do, Wayne, but in the morning we'd have got up to find out Mummy and Daddy sat out there with the whole fox mafia waiting to kick our arses.
What about that man though? He's got a whole fox family in his garden.
Yeah, there is one.
Have you ever... What is the wildest animal? You know, like at the zoo and whatever, you've ever been able to stroke or...
A hippo.
That's bullshit.
No, I ain't. They let you stroke hippos at Chester Zoo. You know about? Have you never petted a hippo?
No.
What? You can do.
Come on,
God, I did. It's not true. I tell you. I went to Chester Zoo when I was a kid, and they said to me, "Well, you can pet any animal you want. What's the one animal you want to pet?" Now, I'd always had this thing for hippos. I loved them. I used to have a pet hippo, like as in like a toy, a cuddly toy. I said, "A hippo, Mum." I said, "Okay, let's go and find the hippos." And then the lady was feeding the hippos, and she said, "Come on over, Lee." I said, "Oh, cheers, love. I don't know your name, but thank you. Do you want to pet the hippo?" I said, "Yeah, of course I do."
So, the zookeeper let you touch one of the deadliest animals out there?
This one was on its last legs.
Oh.
It was quite friendly.
Guys, can you see why I never know whether Lee's telling the truth?
I swear down it's the truth, fam. You can ask me, Mum. Just let me message her first and tell her to go along with it.
See? It's really difficult, you know, Lee. Sometimes I think maybe he is telling the truth. I don't know, but I don't think they'll allow you ever to pet a hippo. Because it's really, really deadly animals.
I think this is where Disney, though, let people down a little bit. Disney and, like, Pixar. I think Disney own Pixar these days. Because, it's like I heard a while ago, especially in America, you get a lot of bears, a lot of wild black bears and stuff. And they, obviously, name some bears.
Grizzly bear.
No, not, it's like cartoon characters.
Oh. I like...
Winnie the Pooh, he was a bear, weren't he? Yeah?
Yeah, he got Blue out of Jungle Book.
Yeah, that's another one. There's been a few bears over the years, basically.
Care Bears.
Care Bears, yeah. So kids, like, they watch...
Rupert the Bear.
Who the hell's Rupert Bear? Oh, Rupert Bear, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Paddington Bear.
Mm-hmm.
So all these kids are like, Paddington Bear, that's amazing.
He makes life marmalade sandwiches.
Yeah, all bears must be friendly because Paddington Bear can talk and dance and he's fun. So in America, kids will often go and find a bear to play with. And the parents come out and say, where's little Timmy? And little Timmy's over there playing with a big bad bear.
Well, no, they'd be in his belly. Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, little Timmy went over to play and now he's being eaten by a big bad bear. So I reckon they should make some horror Pixar films for the kids. Like, the kids are like, oh, look, it's Paddington Bear. And then you see Paddington Bear, like, getting on with Mrs. Paddington Bear. And then you see him, like in Psycho, killing her. You're like, Mum, why is Paddington Bear doing that? Like, because not all bears are friendly, little Timmy. It just teach them the rights and wrongs of bear handling. I think I want to something there. Let's get on to Pixar, right?
I'm going to tell you this now. Lee doesn't talk like this off screen all the time. We do actually have serious conversations very now and again.
No, but I think that's deadly serious. You need to concern yourself. Not us, because RT is old enough now to know not to mess around with bears. Like, mice. Mickey Mouse. He's a mouse. He's friendly. Donald Duck. He's a duck. He's friendly. Not all ducks are friendly. And some mice have infections. You don't want little Timmy bringing in a duck. What, Mum, it's Donald Duck. And then the duck's flapping around your kitchen, do you?
Yeah, but you could say the same about restaurants then. Duck is an acquired... Well, you know, people like duck.
What's that got to do with the price of a Disney film?
Well, I remember the duck that used to be on the top of the barge on Rosie and Jim.
Mm-hmm.
And it'd go... Quack.
That's what I'm saying.
You eat that.
Always portrayed to be friendly, ducks, Sam. They're not always friendly. There has been a couple of murders by ducks. Tell you what I heard today. I should referring to ducks and stuff. There's these sea snakes somewhere in America or somewhere in the world, and all the male sea snakes are dead horny. But well,
Horny snakes.
and all creatures
Right.
have to breed to
Yeah.
continue. A snake is no different, ain't? A sea snake, you cannot say, look mate, you can't be horny because you're a sea snake. So they're in the water getting the horn on. But there's no female snakes about because I don't know what's happened to them. I think they bugger off to Selfridges or somewhere. So these explorers, like deep sea divers, this is why I'd never go in the sea. Forget sharks, I'm more worried about the sea snakes at the minute.
Oh, just imagine.
Keep wrapping themselves around the divers' fins, like the legs and stuff, mistaking them for female sea snakes.
You mean flippers?
Flippers, fins, whatever.
Fins are what are on fish, like
Well, remember these deep sea divers have fins as well. I don't know.
what we are now in Avatar.
Waterworld, that was a great film.
Is that with Kevin Costner?
Yeah, back in the day. But the sea snakes are trying to get it on with the divers. It's making their job really difficult.
At least you're not biting them.
No, but you don't want to be dragged down to the bottom of the sea by a sea snake, eh?
How big are they? I don't really like pythons, are they?
Well, they're big enough to like, wrap themselves around your leg. And if you get both legs, you're screwed. You can't really flap back up to the surface.
Yeah, you see, that's the kind of thing, innit? Like, these jobs that people do that involve...
Yeah. Well, I told you a year ago on this channel about the bloke who sort of worked on the oil rigs or whatever, because whenever you hear that, like work on the oil rigs, you think that's above ground. It's out at sea, and you often have to dive under the sea for certain parts of the work. And this one bloke, he was down there in like a little submarine thing, and there was no toilet in this submarine. I mean, I don't know. Us here, we're sitting here at home eating our Sunday dinner. Right now, there could be a bloke in the middle of the sea somewhere, off of Scotland or wherever this was, deep sea diving with all sorts out there. And this bloke had to get out of this like little tiny submarine. There's like 3 or 4 of them in there, and to go to the toilet, he had to swim down to the bottom of the sea, the bed of the sea, and there was a. It sounds ridiculous.
Through a tunnel.
No, it sounds like a lie, but I promise you it's the truth. I don't know how it works, but you'd swim down to the bottom, and there'd be a toilet there, and you'd sort of lock yourself into one bit. I guess it keeps all the water out somehow. Don't know how, and then you go down and go to the toilet, but it's pitch black. All the way down there, you only got your light on your head, and it's pitch black when you're in this toilet. But it was clear behind him, like I'm sitting on the toilet, so I'm him. Behind him was clear glass, and behind him we just saw the biggest fecking shark ever.
I thought it was an eye.
Well, an eye then, I don't buddy. I'm making things up as I go along here. Yeah, he saw a huge eye. He didn't know what the hell it was off, but he still had to know that he had to swim back to his vessel.
Knowing that was lurking around outside.
I'd just kill myself there.
It's like them shark tanks. I've always wanted to go in one. I really would like to, but after watching that film, was it 57 metres down? I think it's. I don't know. 47 metres.
They're one of them ones.
Anyway, them 2 girls are in there. The tank is let loose off the cable. Hits the floor, and the shark's there, and then they're trapped in the cage. You've always got to have that worry in the back of your mind that these things are a reality. Like, things can go wrong, can't they? I at the moment watching this thing on YouTube, and basically, so this family, so there was 5 of them all together. There was like the mum, dad, and the 3 kids. They had to go somewhere in America for his brother's funeral, and it was a 3-hour trip back. I can't give you places, but I know it's in America. And it was a 3-hour journey, and they paid for a charter plane. You know, like one of the smaller planes?
Yeah.
And it was called a King Flyer, or something like that, King Airplane. Well, anyway, as they was setting off, and about, I want to say, 25 minutes into the journey, the pilot had a heart attack, and he was dead. There was nothing they could do. This guy had only flown like a 1-engine plane, so like this was like a bigger charter plane. And I'm nearly at the end now, but he's having to be learnt how to fly, taught how to fly in mid-air through air traffic control.
It's not worth the hassle, is it?
And they're like, right, you need to drop down to 5,000 feet or this and that, and it was dropping at like 100 metres every few seconds. I was like, wow. So basically, like, these things can happen. So you thinking, oh, it's all right, I'm in a charter plane, you know, like these people who, hang on, what's going on? Oh, sorry about that, guys, the thing reflects off that. You know, when you have a private jet and you think, great, I'm in a private jet, you know, it's just us on the plane, my family. You've only got like that one pilot.
Pull that across the camera. Sorry, everyone. Yeah, I've not watched this. You've been watching on YouTube, whatever. I would just rather pay the bit extra and get on a proper plane.
Yeah, but in saying that, you think about that. I'm not trying to scare anyone here about flying, because I'm scared of flying. I hate flying. But do they have backup flight pilots? I mean, I know they have 2 pilots in the plane.
Get on the bigger ones. On the small ones, it's usually just like 1 pilot.
But that is really bloody worrying,
When they don't have a toilet, they don't have a pilot just sitting there in the cargo bit. Oh, bring up, you know, whatever, because the other one's dead.
This is the thing. You see, like, you know, when you see the Kardashians or these movie stars on these, like, little private jets and stuff, that is a bloody concern, that.
They'll have a couple. I mean, God, you can't be having celebrities falling out of the sky, eh? I reckon that would be a great reality TV show. So you get all these former celebrities these days, like, yes, I can sing. Well, you can't really, can you? You just want to get back on TV. And they're trying to do all this crap. I reckon you should have drop the celebrity from a plane and see if they can land on 2 feet without a parachute. That would be a great show. You could have all the former cast of EastEnders and Coronation Street on there, and you don't like, just lob them out of a plane.
I really actually want to know that now, like if you've got, because I know when we was in Spain a couple of years ago, Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones got a private jet in and out of the airport that me and Lee got.
Palmer Airport.
Palmer Airport, yeah. And I'm just thinking, like, I mean, probably they had 2 pilots on there, but a lot of the smaller planes, like you said, they don't.
No.
Could you imagine if you're up there in these, oh yeah, you think you've got it Pilot.
Snuffs it.
What are they going to do?
Well, that's why you've got YouTube, aim. You can learn anything on YouTube. You can learn how to crochet. You can learn how to make ice sculptures. You can learn how to fly a plane, aim.
And another quick story. So, it was, I'm going to prank my driving instructor. And what it was this really famous girl, and I don't know her name, but she was a drag race driver. She was like really fast, and she did all that spinning round stuff. And so she was dressed all up, and then what she did, she transformed her into like, it looked like a really young, oh God, I'm scared of driving. It had this really, really like big car, and the driving instructor was like, is this your car? And she was like, oh no, it's my brother's, but you know, everything's fine. The driving instructor, she did this with 3 sets of instructors, got in and she played that she didn't have a clue really even how to turn on the engine. She kept stalling, kept stopping, and even there was going, oh, you know, okay, maybe you should just try and have a bit more confidence. Soon as they said that, so it was on like this big learning car park, she just started drag racing at like 90 miles an hour. And then one of them was screaming. The other one was holding his seatbelt like, oh, stop the car. And then eventually when they stopped, the one was like, you nearly killed me. And then they shouted at the camera that she's like this world famous drag racer.
I'm too old for driving fast, guys. Like,
you can't even handle a scooter now, can you?
I can't handle fast rides. I can't handle when you're in a car and you go up and down.
Bridge.
Yeah.
Do you know, honestly,
your balls end up in your stomach.
That is, truth be told, fairground rides now are my worst ever. I couldn't even dare go on a roller coaster. I
think we're at the age now, I'm mid-30s, where why put yourself at risk of anything that you don't need to?
I mean, unfortunately, and God bless her soul, and I'm not religious, but the girl at Alton Towers who lost her leg on the Smiler ride, now she went out that day to have a great time with her friends, voluntarily went on a ride that you think you are safe for, but you've got to remember, these are mechanical things, like a car breaks down and malfunctions, tyres break, etc. These blooming rides can go wrong, they just can.
And if you've ever watched Final Destination, you know not to do anything that's risky. Just forget it, just stay at home. Just watch a programme, get a VR headset like RT's got for the PlayStation, and pretend you're on a roller coaster.
I'm not kidding, guys. Honestly, I think we spent about 400 quid, something like that. But honestly, if you ever want to get anything for your kid, that is so good. Even for adults. Is it for the PlayStation?
Yeah, it's for the PS4.
It is so good. Like, you really believe you are in the situation. Crazy.
We've got to go, Amal. Has this been nice?
Yes.
Do I make a good roast dinner?
Yes, I just don't like whatever's happened to them.
Well, that's called crap oil. Crap oil ruined the potatoes. Anyways.
But
guys,
I actually love swede instead of potatoes sometimes. My mum likes swede mash.
Okay, we have to go, guys. Sorry, because football's on. It's not. I need a shower and clean up.
Right then. Anyway, guys, remember to be nice. Remember to be kind. Comment, share, like, and subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any future video. And check out our other channel, Munchies Delights, and our Instagram, Munchies in the House.
See you later, alligator.
Bye. Alligator, that's quite a good thing considering when we talk about zoos.
Yeah, I'd like an alligator in my farm. I bet they have them in California.
You'd like penguins.
Yeah, penguins every day. Forget the alligators. See ya.